Okay. All right, y'all. I really apologize for interrupting your conversation. I'm sorry. But we got lots of conversations at ONEG. But let's get started. Can y'all hear me okay? Are the mics working? Is that? Yeah? Okay. I'm not quite sure anymore sometimes. All right. So let's just, we're going to start with, first of all, Shabbat Shalom. And we're going to start with lighting the candles. Brenda and company are going to come up here. Brenda and family. Oh, yeah? The piano sign? Yeah. No, I saw. Oh, you got it. You're good. Thank you. We're now moving to page 128 of your prayer books. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gad yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gad yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gad yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. We now move to page 138 for the Chadodi. And together we're going to recite paragraphs 1, 5, and 9. When we arrive on paragraph 9, I'll invite you all to stand up and face the entrance as we greet the Shabbat bride. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmiyanu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem l'tiferit v'letila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, Kiva ore kumi ori, uri shir daberim. Kavod Adonai alek negela. Lecha dodi likra kala. Panei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likra kala. Panei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise. Bo'i v'shalom, ateret bal'a, gam b'smocha uv'zola, toch emunei, am segula, bo'i chala. Lecha dodi likra kala, Panei Shabbat nekabela. 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 You may be seated. We're now moving to Shalom Aleichem on page 142. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now move to page 144. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, be'elma divrach yotev yamlik malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, bagala, uv'izman kariv, v'imaru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach, le'alam ulam me'al maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yipromam v'yitnasem, v'yitadar v'yitalal, shemei kedusha barichu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, Tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'elma, v'imaru, amen. Turn to 146, and I invite you to rise for the Baruch Hu. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch be seated. We're now moving over to page 149. Let's read the top part together of that page in English. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way at which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, hamariv ravim. We now continue in the English on top of page 151. Let's read that together. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Now move to the the Shema on page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malachuto Leolam Avain. Now the Via Hafta on 154. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol avacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meyodecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinartam levarnecha b'divartam ba'am B'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlektecha havaderech, ushofbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leyot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beineinecha, uktaftam al mizuzo beitecha, uvisharecha. Lema'an tizkiru v'achitem et chol mitzvotai, V'tem kedoshim leloheichem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotziti etchem meretz Mitzrayim, Liot lachem lelohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Move over to page 158 for the Micha Mocha. Lie, 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 mi chamocha ba'alim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'adar ba'kodesh, no ra tehilot oseh efele, no ra tehilot oseh efele, lie, 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 lie. Now move to the Shamru on page 162. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בני יובין, בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. Now we turn to the Amidah on page 164. When you arrive there, I invite you to stand with me. Adonai sefatai titach ufia gitehi latecha. Adonai sefatai titach ufia gitehi latecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Ve'imoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol VaHaGibor VaHanoram El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei HaKol V'zocher Chasei Avot V'imahot U'mevi Geula L'bnei B'neihem L'man Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer V'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Abraham Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Kol HaTarav L'Yoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Marid HaGashem Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim B'Rofei Cholim U'Martir Asurim U'Mekayem Emunato Lishonei Abar Michamocha Ba'al Geburot U'Midom Elach Melech Meimid U'Mechayem U'Matzir Yeshua V'Aman Atah L'Chayot HaKol Baruch Atah Adonai Mechayei HaKol. We will now continue silently until page 180. You may be seated whenever you like. Say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol Yisrael. Vimru, amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'yakol Yisrael. Vimru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael. 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 Okay, I'm going to offer some words of Torah. Yeah, I see you, Lila. Yeah, hi. In this week's Torah portion, Noah, there is a scene I want to talk about right after Noah and his family complete their harrowing journey of surviving a world flood. Noah's barely made landfall, and yet he piously fashions an altar for Adonai as his first act of business on the freshly dry ground. This altar successfully motivates Adonai to visit Noah and direct him on his next steps, which must have been a surprise for Noah because Adonai is strangely silent while the ark was still seafaring. God gave Noah zero indication of the length of time he'd be sailing the ark and was quite sparse on the details of the landfall they'd be making when the water subsided. Yet suddenly, God is talking nonstop to Noah. And famously, Adonai offers assurances to Noah that humanity would never have to endure a world flood again, which I'm guessing was a huge relief for Noah. But that's not the bit that I want to talk about tonight. I want to zoom into right after Adonai makes this promise of no more world flooding. And it starts in Genesis 9, and it goes like this. But for your own lifeblood, I will require a reckoning. I will require it of every beast of humanity too, while I require a reckoning for human life of everyone for each other. Whoever sheds human blood, by human hand shall that one's blood be shed, for in the image of God was humanity made. The flood narrative has always irked me. Why would Adonai annihilate God's amazing creations and erase so much life-giving work? Adonai destroyed everything in that flood just because people weren't acting to Adonai's specifications. Yet, Adonai didn't offer too much legal groundwork for humans to exist with each other, except for that bit where God shares with us that humanity is made in the image of God. That passage, here in the flood narrative, is an allusion to Genesis chapter 1, where God states, "Let us make humanity in our image, after our likeness. They shall rule the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, the cattle, the whole earth, and all the creeping things that creep on earth." And God created humanity in the divine image, creating it in the image of God. Comparing these two passages opened my eyes to an idea that never occurred to me before. God's original creation was an act of nature exploding into existence. And that very nature was the canvas prepared for humanity to paint it. That is what God thought people, who were created in God's image, would do. Humans would interact with the universe that God created. Perhaps it's only later did God even consider how humanity would interact with itself. In all of God's oneness, God didn't consider how two or more humans would work with each other. Thus, the flood acknowledges the flaw in God's original creation. Humanity may be mandated as stewards of the earth, but they needed mandates on how to treat each other. So the flood narrative is creation take 2. God already put the universe together, so that part wasn't needed. What was needed was a creation that baked in a system of both stewardship and ethical behavior for humanity. So the second time that God says that humanity was made in the image of God, God only does so with a new crucial mandate. Don't kill each other. Created in God's image means we each contain a spark of the divine. And killing each other is a desecration of God's creation. God recreated the world to make this point. Noah's job is to make sure that humanity honors this mandate through a covenant with Adonai. And before this moment, the Torah isn't a law code, it's an origin story. It's only after this second creation does Adonai seem to understand that God's achievement isn't creating the universe, which takes just one chapter of the Torah. God's achievement is giving humanity the tools to build a civilization, which takes the rest of the Torah. God rearranges priorities. Instead of people seeking out nature first, like we see in Genesis 1, in Genesis 9, people seek out each other first. Yet humanity's imperfection means their own livelihood needs to be safeguarded by a legal system. And that is the truest accomplishment of our Torah, which of course means law. It takes a group of people who are very far from perfect and builds them from a state of lawlessness to the crowning achievement of a civilization. It takes 2 tries, but I guess it's better than taking 3 tries. And this concept that God gave us in Genesis 9, that the first step in building a civilization is not killing each other, is a message that is deeply rooted in our tradition. Our teachings from the Talmud to now abhor violence, even as a means of justice. For example, capital punishment. Our tradition is very much against it, because taking a life, even if it is just, is by definition still violent. And this is one of the countless reasons that so many of us are struggling right now with the current Israel-Hamas conflict. Certainly we are deeply mourning the loss of innocent lives. Our generational trauma is triggered and our sense of security is upended. But deep within every Jewish person is this prohibition against violence. A prohibition that is taught to us not just because it's wrong, but because the prohibition of violence prevents the collapse of civilization. Jewish deaths lead us into an existential crisis. Is our society stable? Jews are often considered a part of a unique demographic that act as an indicator for the health of a society. The metaphor I hear about this, for better or for worse, is Jews act as a canary in a coal mine. That if a canary dies in a coal mine, then the miner is no longer safe. This fact gives us a level of anxiety and dread that I think is quite difficult to explain. But I also want to offer some assurances. First, our vigil that we had last Saturday proved how supportive Alaska leaders are of our Jewish community. Furthermore, I've received countless messages and support from all types of Alaskans offering their sympathies. And second, we as Jews have the capacity to help ourselves with tools our ancestors never had the opportunity to use. For example, here in the United States, it's our First Amendment right to come together as a religion. We have protections enshrined in our law of this country. And while our spiritual homeland was wounded last week, I am confident that over time that wound will heal. We may not be able to see a conclusion a week into this conflict, but we have the means to get to the end of it without our complete destruction. So throughout this time, I look to both Genesis 1 and Genesis 9 for inspiration, that we are made in God's image, and that means we have the capacity and desire to live in a stable society that believes in justice and that abhors violence. Thank you. We're now going to move to the Misha Berach, the prayer for healing on page 371 of your prayer books. And in our own community, we're thinking about these individuals: Ross Rumack, Frank Erwiskin, Haley Goodstein, Bob Goodstein, Alex Bortnick, and Anita Gibbs. If there's someone who you are thinking of, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'avotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We now move to the Elenu on page 587 of your prayer books, and when you arrive there, I invite you to stand with me. Now turn to page 591. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Love each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity, and cause the light to go forth over all the lands between the seas. And light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech akol haaretz v'yom hahu yiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Now turn to the Mourner's Kosh on page 598. And of course, we're thinking about all the innocent lives lost in the Middle East right now. But we're also thinking about these yard sites this week. Clinton Cox, Elaine Teicher-Dorr, Leah Finger, Barney Gottstein, Jamie Haas, Sidney Clevens, Bernie Moscow, Ethel Rowitz, Hilda Schatz, Edward Spencer, and Carolyn Wolf. If there's someone you were thinking about, please feel free to say their names out loud or in your hearts. Zikanom Livracha, maybe for a blessing. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, b'ilma divrach chirotei v'yamlik malchutei, v'chayechon uvyamechon uv'chayedachol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarak la'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yipromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemeda kudasha barichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, da'miran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, V'chaim aleni v'yakol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleni v'yakol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Is the one who creates harmony on high, bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. You may be seated. Okay, announcements. So right after this, we're going to have Oneg, so please join us for that right there in the multi-purpose room. And then tomorrow, we're going to have Judaism 101 on our Zoom room. It's going to be about anti-Semitism, and really just going to be more of like a Q&A, just kind of conversations. If you want to join us, you totally can. And then it'll be starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow in our Zoom room. And then we'll have services tomorrow at 10:30, and then at 12:31 is when we're volunteering over at the Fairview Rec Center for the mobile food bank. So that's 12:31 as well. I think that's good for tomorrow. And then on Sunday we have religious school. Starts at 9:30 for Hebrew, and then 10 for Shabbat Time Machine with classes after that. You're all welcome to come for Shabbat Time Machine. Anyone's welcome at 10 a.m. on Sunday here. So you want to know what that is? Please come and find out. And then what else is that going on? I'm sorry. Oh yes, that's right. So after Tashlik, we'll have our very first meet and greet for our Jewish D&D club. After what did I say? Oh boy, I'm very tired. After Tashlik. Sorry. After Tashlik. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. That's like the last thing I'm thinking about right now. That's crazy that came out of my mouth. Okay, after religious school on Sunday at 12:30, we'll have our first D&D club. D&D stands for Dungeons and Dragons. I apologize for not explaining that in my original email when I was bragging about this. So yeah, I don't think we're going to play. We're just going to kind of come together and figure out timing and stuff like that. We're going to try to have like a grown-up campaign and then maybe like a kids campaign. And we'll see from there how that goes. So yeah, that's new. And then we have our normal, Mitzvah Mall. Mitzvah Mall is on November 12th. That's when a bunch of nonprofits come into our building, and then people come through and give them money. And so that's November 12th from 12 to 3 p.m. Please come. We really need you to come to this event. It's very special for us, and we really want to support these nonprofits. If you want to know what they are, you can go to our website, and we have a whole thing on that on personchosen.org. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you there. We've got weekly prayer opportunities besides Shabbat every Wednesday at 8:30 in our Zoom room. We have a morning minyan for a half hour, and then every Thursday 8:30 here in this building, we have another morning minyan for a half hour, and then we go over to kava pancakes and have pancakes. So, or you can just come to the pancakes if you like. No judgment there. Okay, I think what am I missing? Anything else? Go. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully one day in the near future there'll be a Giving Tuesday announcement, but we'll keep it the Mitzvah Mall for the moment. Got it. Okay. Yes, Mitzvah Mall. Yes, please. We need you. We want this to be popular. So, okay. What else am I missing? Anything else? Okay, I got it. All right, so we're gonna conclude with Ozi V'Zimrat Yah on page 647. Yes, 647. Memorized it now. Look at me. At the very bottom of that page. Ozi V'Zimrat Yah V'Yahili Lishua. 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 Ozi V'Zimrat Yah V'Yahili Shabbat shalom, y'all.